All set as they'll match up with the Denver Broncos. 2 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. On first down, it's Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Walker. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, here's Watson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing. But to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they go play action now. Burrow. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Burrow will throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that'll make it 3rd and goal. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Finding some room at midfield. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 34-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Watson. This will be caught. Judy. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
And that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Edmonds, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Chase Edmonds. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. McManus's point after is good. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Hey, can.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. This defense for the Broncos, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Mixon with a first down carry. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Escaping the pressure right. And this one is incomplete.
He's got 1 touchdown pass already in this quarter, obviously looking for number 2, and definitely not playing the check down game.
Complete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. They go play action with Burrow. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
I'll give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice game.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. 7-7, our score after 1. Run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Bengals on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 8. Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. A big play there by the rookie. An interception followed by the return for 6 points.
If you want to be accepted by your teammates and coaching staff, make plays like that.
Now McManus for the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game.
Broncos 14, Bengals 7.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one, it didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
12.
Burrow looking to pass. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They'll run on first down. Mixon. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard there, and it's second and 11.
This defense is really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
Trying to get it to Chase, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Michael O.J. Mudia. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. So that time the pressure got home just as he was releasing the football and caused the pick.
And what it did was it disrupted that fragile balance of the mechanics of throwing the football. You know, from the footwork to being able to actually throw it downfield. If one piece of that puzzle gets disrupted, it affects the entire chance of success.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. For Jerry Jeudy, this is why he was a first-round pick back in 2020. The route running, the hands are great, but the speed, that sets him apart. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now 21-7.
Bengals 7.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Bengals drive about to get going. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So first and 10 now from the 30. Here's a give to Mixon. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off at the 47. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason?
Gets by him, and now a little daylight. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And there's an old chestnut of an expression called getting on your horse. And I hate to use it, but I'm going to right here because it absolutely applies. How about the head of steam he had behind him? He was absolutely galloping downfield. That was something to see.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is.
Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S. Ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you've got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
105 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he pulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21-all the score as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again is Watson. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they work this well upfield across the 45. They'll run on first down. Edmonds. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now it's Watson. Open man. He completes it to Judy. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. On the screen, this is Edmonds. That catch good for only a couple. Again, it's Watson. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Clemson product, DJ Reader, got in for the sack. And, of course, that's not an easy man to sack. You know how elusive he can be, trying to get outside of the pocket. That was a great play on the defensive side.
And I wonder what was going through his mind, because he didn't seem as committed to using his legs to pick up yardage. He wanted to keep that play alive, so either take off and go or throw it away. But he held on to the football and ended up getting sacked.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 36 yards out. Oh, this ball hangs out to the right. It's no good. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On 3rd down, Burrow. He finds his running back, Mixon. And he'll be corralled right around the 34.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Play action. It's Burrow. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 37 yards.
We always talk about the guy who paid off the play, don't we? The guy who caught it or ran it. But how about the elements that go into making a big play? This one in particular, able to scan the field. Pocket held up nicely. What a terrific job by the offensive line. The route, well run, and the football, right on the money.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase, 29 yards. And the Bengals have broken our tie as they take the lead. McPherson now for the extra point. And it's good. That makes it a 28-21 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. Off of play action, it's Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's taken in by the tight end Fant. Past the 20. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Edmonds running out of the shotgun. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their...
And he's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown Broncos. Noah Fant. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. McManus's point after is good. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So all square here in this 3rd quarter as the kick's away. This taken in at the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And these two teams have traded touchdowns so far with their first possessions here in the 3rd quarter, so we're right back to where we started at intermission.
Yeah, how about that? Tied at the half, tied after the first 2 drives of the 3rd quarter, 1 for each. That tells me that someone's defense has got to step up and make a big play and try and change the momentum of this game.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Once again, they run with Mixon. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Call it 46 yards on the punt, just a single yard on the return as he was covered quickly. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, third quarter now in Lambeau. And the Ravens have opened things up there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late. He'll fire one downfield for Fant, and that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Watson. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Stuckey finds a seam inside the 40. There he goes, left side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move like that in the open field, that's something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him, and once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
Extra point from McManus is good, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Bengals 28.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play. Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On first down, Mixon. And shedding through the tackle. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
134 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
They'll run on first down. Mixon, and he's going to take this one down to the 25. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
He's going to take a shot for the end zone.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, that would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now the Bengals on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Now it's Burrow. And that will be incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They run for it with Mixon, and nowhere to go. He's going to be stopped behind the line. Denied on 4th down is Joe Mixon, and the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So
this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown. Jerry Jeudy with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. McManus's point after is good, and the lead now up to 14.
So the extra point good, and the roughing call going to move the ball out to the 50 for the kickoff.
And I think this is a good chance to pin them deep if you can land the kickoff inside the 5-yard line or so. Gain some field position for your defense.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Burrow and the Bengals with a 1st and 10
at their own 25-yard line.
He'll hand it off here. This is Mixon.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
It's a loss of 2. Brings them 2nd and 12 at the 23-yard line.
And they go play action now. Burrow. He finds his man, complete. It's Burke. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
Good yardage on the completion there. When they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He's going to fire one deep over the middle.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
They're down 2 scores, and they need a quick one to try and get back into this one. That was one way to try and get it done. Unsuccessful in the attempt, but they have no choice but to keep trying.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Burrow. He'll find his running back, Joe Mixon. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 17-yard line. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Ball at the 8 here for 2nd and a yard, maybe a touch less. Now it's Burrow. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll drop to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off with great anticipation, and the Broncos are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have to like the position that they are in. 4th quarter, 2-score lead, and now the ball back after the INT. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. They'll keep it on the ground. Stuckey stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Now Watson. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is taken at the 23. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
On 3rd and short, going with their tight end. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. To throw, Burrow. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Burrow being chased out left. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Now Burrow. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed, and in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop him with 13 seconds left to play.
Second and 11. Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
On 2nd down now, Stuckey. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48.